Hey guys, it's Will here. I wanted to talk to you about an issue that I get emailed about sometimes, and that is like being confident in what you like to do, doing your own way of implementing a plant-based diet in terms of you don't have to do what everyone else does. Like I notice there's not a lot of confidence sometimes with people's choices, and if they don't like things that other people like, or if they don't want to eat a meal a certain time of day. So I'll just get specific here. I've had people ask me or email me that they don't like, they're getting bored of potatoes or something like that. And the idea is, like with a starch-based diet or plant-based diet, is you don't have to eat just potatoes or mostly potatoes. I know I called myself Potato Strong, but that was mostly because I was just so happy with discovering the potato and how filling it was and that it didn't make you fat and stuff like that. But I eat a variety of starches: beans, rice, pasta, bread, corn. So all sorts of good stuff. Legumes, like different types of legumes, peas and chickpeas and everything like that. So it's a wide variety. And so if you're bored of them, so what I'll do sometimes is we'll get in a phase where we're eating a lot of pasta, and then maybe we'll go through stir fries, and then we'll start eating burritos like crazy because we love them, and all of a sudden we kind of get tired of it. So we'll rotate things, but we'll do it in certain sections where we're eating something similar for days, and then maybe rotate that out. The other way to go is, do it more frequently. Change every meal, every dinner could be a variety of starches from one day to the next. So it's up to you, but don't feel like you have to eat potatoes, or if you don't like certain potatoes, you can change it up. So just giving, I feel some ways I'm in a way giving permission, but also trying to instill some confidence. And you don't have to think like everybody else. Like there's the GroupThink, even in veganism itself, there's a variety of ways people are eating and thinking, but you got to be, you're able to think your own way as long as you're doing things, correctly. There's a wide range of things, and you don't have to do what everyone else does. Somebody asked me that they like to eat cereal for lunch, and they felt, guilty, or it's not normal or whatever. But we even do that sometimes. We're lazy, we're tired, we don't want to make a lot of dishes, especially like if Bonnie does the dishes more than I do. I'll dry sometimes, but, we've divided up our chores, and if she says, I don't feel like making a big mess and all that, then there's other options too. But sometimes a bowl of cereal is great. Throw some fruit on it or whatever. So, or oatmeal or whatever you decide. You can have it for lunch, So this video mostly was to encourage you to be your own person. You don't have to do what everyone else does. If you don't like things, I have people tell me they don't like onions or spices. They like it plain. That's fine. You don't have to use those things if you don't like. Oh yeah, related to that is the idea that in some of the plant-based doctors, there's a lot of health focus, like as far as nutrients, like getting a lot of nutrients and nutritarian type thing, like Dr. Greger, Dr. Furman in particular. And so that sort of set up people to think that, they need to get a ton of veggies in their diet. And I mean, starches have a lot of nutrients. And I don't eat just starches. I have fruit. I also have non-starchy veggies. So there's a bit of a feeling like if you're just eating starches that you're missing out on something. And obviously over time you're going to eat a variety of foods, so you don't have to worry about one particular meal from time to time. And so sometimes I'll have a very simple plate for lunch or dinner, like it might be just potatoes with gravy, or it might be just potatoes, or it might be baked fries and ketchup. I do sometimes microwave or cook some peas on the side, or corn, which is another starch. But a lot of times you could just have a very simple meal. I might have some sort of rice mixture, like a burrito mix that I have, like with rice and tomato, and that I've cooked up like for filling a burrito or tacos or something. And I'll just put that on a plate and put some salsa on it. So yeah, it's another option, is potatoes with salsa. And so you don't have to worry about every single meal has to be a lot of veggies. And sometimes, people have digestive issues because of all the added veggies, especially things like what they call brassicas in the gardening world is broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage. Those can be gassy and even, smelly type of thing. And that can turn you off the whole diet, especially if you haven't eaten a lot of veggies from your previous diet. So you can keep it fairly simple, especially if you're starting out. Things that are easy to digest that you're fairly used to eating, probably, like potatoes and even beans can be a problem. And there's some digestive enzymes you can take and some spices you can use that can help the digestion. But there's nothing wrong with keeping those things a little bit reduced at first, eating things easily digestible, things that you're used to, bread, pasta. You don't have to, now speaking of pasta, after 5 years, I've been, as much as I tried to like certain things, I realized that, and I can't always get whole wheat or whole grain pasta in a certain type, like rigatoni. So I'll have like the semolina, and sometimes the bread, or what is it, the rice, I'll have, I generally have white basmati now. I even tried the brown basmati. I had brown rice before, it was fine, like in a burrito or something, but there's a certain part where you get used to certain foods. Your taste buds will adjust, but after a while, like after a few years, I just, and I don't feel guilty about it because, first of all, it doesn't make you fat or anything like that, but I add a lot of veggies to my stir fries, and even with pasta, I'll throw onions, garlic, mixed like kale, spinach, and there's tomatoes in there. And so I'm not really worried, and I haven't seen any issues at all. So when you're trying to set up the standard, like this is the best, kale and brown rice and everything, I get the sense that, people are a little bit intimidated and feel bad about their choices. And so I'm here to tell you that I don't think you should feel guilty. And these foods are really great. And we've been conditioned that carbs are really bad and white is bad, even white potatoes. So sometimes I try to get yellow flesh potatoes mostly. I'm not that's what I eat most of the time. But sometimes they don't have them, and I get red or white potato. As far as the flesh inside, they're fairly light colored. And so hopefully that helps you. I just want to give you some peace of mind in a sense, and to enjoy, and you don't have to do what everyone else does. And also, if certain things are giving you issues, just avoid those for the time being. It takes time for your gut to adjust to a lot more fiber and nutrients and things like that. So your gut, you can slowly introduce those things, but eat foods you like. And if you're having a horrible time and cooking and just gassiness and everything, you want to make sure you keep it simple. Just have, like, I have shredded wheat squares, cereal, potatoes, rice, things like that, bread even. That will make it easy for you to enjoy and be full and sort of not have too many gastro issues. And then you can sort of add in veggies over time and see how you do. So hopefully that helps, and we'll talk to you guys later.